it now. Okay. So let's get to it, okay? I'll just be explaining you guys what makes a good jungler, the qualities, and what it takes to basically get to the top. So basically, I'm gonna be explaining knowing how to get kills, being efficient, knowing your win condition, and knowing your limits. And all these things are so important. And usually if you're not so good, or even if you're good but not the best, usually knowing how to get kills, it might sound really simple, but you know when someone plays in low elo, right? And they get 30 kills, you might wonder, why can't I get 30 kills, right? And there's many factors, and we'll get to it, okay? So, I have a Mr. Canyon VOD here. Let's see if it's completely loaded. It's pretty much completely loaded. Yo, what's up, WK Master? Wait, you don't hear anything? Wait. You guys hear me, right? I think it might be your sound. Yeah, that's on you, I think. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? No one has been saying anything? Okay. If you guys hear, then we're Gucci. Okay. Yeah, these are the topics I'll try to go through. I'm not sure if I can complete everything. I can read the chat as well, so if you guys have questions, I can answer them, okay? So, I'll be talking about these things, which is just how to climb, know how to, I already talked about this, how to get kills. I'll cover that in the VOD with Kenyon, okay? And being efficient, clear speed, no gank for fun, base timers, and knowing your win condition. And this is probably the most difficult, because this depends on multiple factors. I uploaded recently the mid-game course regarding how to recognize what you're playing for, but it's not even the win condition, okay? And then knowing your limits, because this is something actually, if you want to be the best, this is very important. So when I say knowing your limits, okay, I mean these things. The champion, I'll just ignore all this, tilts me, this red color. But yeah, basically the champion damage output, your job in fights, and group/side lane. Like, what is actually your job on your champion to carry games, okay? And let's just start honestly with this, okay? Knowing how to get kills. Let's start with that. Because the main thing, if you want to be a good player, is first of all, you need to know how to get kills. I think nothing else comes after, like, that's the main priority, I think. Knowing how you get kills, okay? So let's just break down on what he's probably thinking about as a jungler, okay? He went 8 to 20 or something. He has 28 kills in minute 17. I don't know how many kills he got. Let's just see, okay? Oh wait, this game he didn't get that many kills. But I think this game didn't get completely loaded. But honestly, it's okay, because even if I go through the early game, that is in the end the most important thing. So let's get to it. Alright, so before anything, you gotta change scene. Oh, wait. Oopsie daisy. Okay, wait. I'll share the screen. I guess I'll just share my full screen. That's probably easier. Okay. You guys see the screen right now, right? I believe it's live, so there's no delay. Alright. Okay, perfect. Thanks for mentioning that, because it would suck that if you guys couldn't see that. I don't have the chat muted, so you guys can actually see it. But okay. So pay attention, okay? So the number one thing that is super important as a jungler, okay? I'll open my Epic Pen. And I'll open my notepad. So as a jungler, if you want to get kills, you always have to recognize volatile lanes. I'm purely talking about how to get kills, okay? I'm not talking about where you should be buffing, but in general, what it takes to actually get a kill, okay? It starts with number one, which is volatile lanes. If a lane is not volatile, it's not good. I will write down the notes, don't worry about it. So it starts with volatile lanes, okay? So number two will be wave states. So once you've recognized volatile lanes and the wave states, usually it's pretty easy to recognize, okay, which lanes you can kill, okay? But the next thing will be champion identities. So what do I mean with champion identities? That means that, okay, let's say, I don't know, you have a Yumi Ezreal bot lane that has no CC and is pretty difficult to kill, right? So you need to know if you have a Nautilus, if you have like a champion that can just go in, right? And send it, just completely go in. So let's pay attention. So number 1, 2, 3. I want you guys to think first, okay, What are the volatile lanes? The wave states we can't talk about it yet, but I think we can talk about 1 and 3. So I want you to look at the champions and think, okay, which lanes are volatile? You go from top to bot and think, okay, which lanes are volatile, okay? I'll give you guys like 20 seconds. I'm putting a timer. You guys can think about it. Top lane, Zyrakan. Okay, 5 seconds left. So you guys can think about it. Because the most important thing from learning is that you think first and then answer. And I might be wrong as well. Just saying, I might be wrong, okay? But I want you guys to understand the theory. That's the most important thing. I think Ezra Zyra will prepare and push. Yeah. Okay. So what I see from this game, okay, is that mid lane is gonna be fine. I think that honestly, if you want to gank mid lane, if both no flash, it's quite difficult to gank. Yone's not gonna trade like a complete ape, but in case he does, sure, it might be volatile, but it doesn't have to be, okay? So if you look at top lane, I would say that it's quite volatile as well. Irelia against Kled. Usually Kled are psychopaths, just saying, and he might completely send it. And if you look at Irelia, I am as well pretty sure that those guys are just gonna send it, right? And if you look at bot lane, when it's Ezreal Zyra against a Zyrakan, if you guys know how this matchup works, like Ezreal Zyra wants to basically put plants and perma push, and it's gonna be pretty volatile. Because if Zyrakan is not gonna go in, they will lose. And they will lose HP, okay? So I would say that in this game specifically, okay, it kind of sucks. I kind of see where he is. He's gonna start top side, but I was gonna go top to bot as well here. Main reason why, okay? Even the top and bot is volatile. If this Zaya Rakan is gonna get out of control, these champs are gonna complete 1v9 against every single one of your champs. Is Kled gonna 1v9 against all of your champs? I don't think so necessarily. And, okay, worst case, this guy can TP back. Worst case, okay? And the thing is that Jarvan has to make sure that bot lane can play aggressive. And one thing as well that you have to keep in mind, if Udyr paths towards the top side, okay, that means that Ezreal Zyra they can play like complete apes. And if they do that, it's gonna be very difficult for their bot lane. So he's gonna path towards bot side, okay? So usually a good jungler will always look, the moment he's walking from camp to camp, I'm Canyon right now, okay? I'm the Korean jungler. He's looking, and he's looking. He's seeing what's going on. He sees this, okay? When he sees this, as a jungler, what would you do? Would you do your wolves right now? Or would you do your red buff right now? And by the way, I have not watched this game yet. I literally just opened it. But what would you guys do? Someone says wolves, level 3 bot. Red buff, red and gang bot. Okay. When you see this shit, red buff bot. Okay, so in this situation, I believe that if this guy looked at bot lane, he should go red buff. Because if you look at the bot lane HP, like I said before the game, it's going to be very volatile. You remember the notes? Volatile lanes, okay, champ identities doesn't matter at this point, but it's like very volatile because Jarvan has to see. And wave states, okay? So I would say that he should skip his wolves here. If he takes his wolves, and let's say that there's a bot lane fight, he will not have his red buff. And that would kind of suck. Okay, Canyon here is taking his wolves. And I think that he's just gonna cover them or something. But personally, at least me, I would have done the red buff here. And I would see, okay, are they punishable? Because if he takes red buff and finished it, okay, he can then maybe look for a bot lane dive perhaps. Because right now, if he would see the Udyr on the top side and he finishes red buff, and he's looking a bit, okay? Right now, in my opinion, they're not surviving here. They have the wave control. He could always do red buff, see if they're gankable. If not, he could always start his raptors, right? And worst case, he can always just cancel his raptors and be like, oh wait, Udry is topside? I can dive them. So in this situation, okay, when to skip camps or not. So if lanes are extremely volatile, don't full clear and be ready to kill them. You're probably too late anyways if he sees them grump. Let's continue clearing. The thing is that one thing that for me is important, and for you guys as well, is to just keep an open mind, because he might have taken wolves here, but maybe he was like distracted or whatever, or you know, he wasn't focused. So always think, okay, is wolves better or not? Personally, I'm still of the opinion that he could do his red buff and then see what happens, right? But then again, at the same time, I see as well that let's say he thinks that Udry starts stop the bot, and let's say Udry is gonna path towards the bot side. Ezreal Zyra should be safe. So because they're safe, and let's say you can't dive bot lane, if Udyr is gonna full clear towards bot side, he can't look for a dive as well. And that's why I think that he's taking his wolves, because he did not expect the Udyr to be on the bot side. Because I think level 1, they didn't have a ward, right? No, they didn't have a ward. But imagine that the ward here, okay? And he knows they start bot side. This pathing is really good. And I think that he just expected him to be bot side. So I actually do like this pathing now more, because I watch this, I'm like, actually it makes sense, because if Udyr starts stop the bot, even if bot lane is volatile, if Udyr recovers, he can't really look for a dive. So it does make sense now. But if he had the ward, let's say, on blue buff, and he sees him pathing towards top side, and he can get a guaranteed kill after red buff, because he knows that they're super low, and dive ball on this wave, he doesn't have to take more camps. Because, well, if their bot lane dies on this wave, it's GG. It depends on champ as well, yes. Evelyn or Cartus is not gonna 3-camp gank. Because even on those champs, honestly, even if you can get the kill, I legit think full clearing is actually just more OP. And then looking for the gank. But on champs like Jarvan, you're not gonna skill as well. So getting your laners a little bit more ahead is actually more important. But let's continue playing, okay? And I'm gonna play from his perspective. So he sees him right now topside. That's champion identities. Yes, it's champion identities. Yes. That's correct. It depends on what champion you're playing. But imagine that he knew that he started bot side. There's no way that this Xayah is surviving here. There's just no shot if they crash the wave here. But that are the things you have to think about as a jungler, and it's like very important. So that, like, let's say you play a game, you're like, okay, was it good or bad to skip a camp? You can know the next time. Okay, so right here, nothing much going on. He knows that Udryr is topside. So let's just talk about how to get kills though, okay? Because let's play. So right now, if there's nothing going on, he's just gonna take the bot crab, base, and look for another opportunity, okay? What is his music? Oh, you dude, you have to mute the music. It's dude, that music is so troll. Like, yeah, muted. Okay, but right now, okay, if their bot lane decides to stay, he will kill them. And look, they stayed, and they're gonna die for sure. Let's look at execution though, okay? One thing that's important, if you watch someone that's good, okay, you always have to pause here. Because I'm teaching you guys right now how you can learn these things yourself, okay? You have to pause right here, and you have to ask yourself, what would I do? If I see this TP, would I EQ in, or would I back off? Or would I just EQ and flash out, right? And that's the best way to learn, because you can... the thing is that, did you guys know that if you visualize, you can actually learn things as well? Like, our brain is a storage of the past, and if you just think about something, your brain can't distinguish the difference between what's real and what's not real. Of course, it's not like 100% effective, but it works. So imagine you're thinking about what do you call, like a whiteboard? Imagine you think about a whiteboard and you, with your nails, you're gonna like do this, like just close your eyes and imagine it. You can actually sometimes feel the goosebumps, right? And it's not real, but your brain will think, oh, it might be real because you're thinking about it. So visualizing something and thinking, okay, what would I do in this situation? That will help you learn faster as well. And then you look if he does the same. If not, then you can learn from it and be like, why is he doing something else? So he EQ'd in and flashed out, which makes a lot of sense. In that situation, I think that I would have done the same. And yeah, he got a kill, so it's pretty good. Okay. So let's continue watching, okay? So this is the first 3 kills? How the fuck did he get 3? Did something level 1 happen or what? Oh, wait, the Udyr, of course. Okay. But okay, perfect. He killed them, and the wave is good. So here's the key thing, guys. Right now, even we're talking about kills, this is still very important, okay? So after you got the kills here, what do you guys think Mr. Canyon is thinking about? And where is he looking at? Like, where is he looking at, guys? He's looking at the frog. He's looking at the waves, right? That's the most important thing. Remember this. How can you get kills? How to get kills. Volatile lanes, wave states, champion identities. So right now I would say he's kinda AFK. Enemy top laner died. He's at the moment scanning lanes. He's looking, okay, how is the wave there? How is the wave there? Can I get kills? Fullclear into bot rig. Very likely, I think so, yeah. Okay. Right now, he's probably gonna look to fullclear. And right now, if there's no opportunities, okay, he's just gonna farm. And the main reason why he's gonna farm is because at least his camps will be respawning and he can oink around. So let's continue. This is chilling and farming. And like I said, guys, walking from camp to camp as a jungler. So this is the difference between good and bad players, right? Which is that, okay, look at this, right? You guys see my screen? So let's say you're bronze, okay? I think no one is bronze here. I'm really sure no one is bronze here. There used to be a bronze guy on Patreon, but he's gold now. So I will talk about... Is anyone silver here? Is anyone gold here? You're bronze? Okay, perfect. Okay, we'll start from bronze, okay? This is even the old picture. This is not even iron. I'm sorry, bro, but okay. So now imagine that you're iron or bronze, okay? Focusing on how to get kills is important, but before that, okay? Then the thing is that I provided some services in the past, and I have played in low elo. And I could see what people were lacking, okay? Let's put it that way. I could see the skill difference in every single elo, and I could understand what they're struggling with. So, imagine you're an iron or bronze, okay? I've played there for a while, okay? I've never been on my main account there, but let's say I played there, okay? And I can tell you that people don't even know how to click. Like, you know, like, okay, so I'll give you guys an example. In that elo, okay, for the bronze and iron people, you're probably, in general, like, you know when you're fighting, okay? You're probably not even spacing. So what do I mean with spacing? You're probably like right-clicking. When you gank someone, okay, you probably like right-click this guy and perma-click on him, right? You like click, and by clicking faster, you think he's gonna die faster. But that's not how it works, right? In that elo, you actually have to focus on simply just moving your camera, because if you're an iron bronze, like, you would look like this. You wouldn't even look at lanes. So you have to start making habit of like looking at lanes. So if you're low elo, you will legit see this only. And you'll probably look minimap once every 10 seconds. Maybe 5 seconds, actually. So, depending on your elo, right, there's different things you have to work on. So, I would say if you're iron, bronze, it would legit be your clicks, just simply spacing. Your camera movement, because you can't recognize when something's free if you don't see it, right? So in gold, I think that even in gold, I've coached actually a lot of gold players, they still sometimes click like this on the enemy team, like click, and they still don't space properly, okay? And one thing as well in gold especially too is that the gank execution is not so good. So, but anything that I'm gonna mention right now is as well even for high elo. So when I say gank execution, okay, it's the timing. So we'll for sure get a better example, okay? But in gold and platinum, I would say that the execution is not necessarily that great. Whereas what I mean is that if you go for a gank, the timing is usually very off. I haven't seen a gold or platinum gank at good timings. Usually you can get to diamond pretty fast if you have like decent clicks, know your limits a little bit. So like know your limit, your champion damage output as well. Just saying if you're low elo, this becomes very bad. So that's why I recommend almost everyone to focus on playing few champions, and that way you can actually play a lot better, okay? Because if you know how much, let's say, Jarvan EQ alt-tag combo does, you know what your limits are a bit. For example, okay, right here, okay? He's going for a gank. Okay, before I show you guys the clip. So right here, okay? He's looking for a botlane gank. Pay attention to this thing. Volatile, wave states, champion identities, okay? So when it comes to champ identity, it's not Talia. It's not that. Wait, which champ has no CC in jungle? It's not actually Karst has CC as well. Nidalee. Okay, yeah, perfect. Okay, let's say it's a Nidalee, okay? Nidalee can probably still kill them if he lands a spear, okay? But Zyra is not a guaranteed CC. So let's say that these guys are super far up, but let's say they're keeping range and distance. And Nidalee is not gonna CC them. And these guys can't follow up, right? Which means that what happens is that, well, these guys can just keep running, and unless they have flash, they will never reach. But if it's a Jarvan, okay? What would you do as Jarvan here? So I just give you a hint, okay? If you're playing Jarvan here, how would you execute this? You go for a gank here, okay? So the question before ganks you should be asking yourself is like, timing of ganks. When do you gank? And I think this is fine. When do you gank? Because if you recognize the previous things, which are wave states, what about this? When do you gank? You walk at the how do you pronounce it? Menacingly, and look how close you can get before combo. Yeah? Walk on them, only use combo after you use your con W. Walk close. You would like to walk to cut their path. Yes. All of those things. You want to cut off their escape path and make them choke. This guy's no flash, this guy's no flash. So as Jarvan, he's probably gonna walk like this. And but in low elo, gold, platinum, people would walk like this. Straight to the target. Never do that. He's always gonna walk like this. And you're gonna walk like this. Because the main reason why is because, well, you literally cut off the way they can go. This guy's only one way now, which is right here, and he's gonna be sent back straight to base, okay? Right now, let's pay attention to how he plays. And these are the things, guys, you have to think about. If you watch a replay, okay? Please, if you watch a replay, don't just watch replay. Like this. Oh, okay, he presses EQ here. You got the recon kill. Ah, nice. Let's see how we get more kills now. That's not how you like to play it. You should always, always, always visualize. How would I play it? And how does he play it? And then you're like, what the fuck? He played it different than I did. Because the way the moment you see someone play in a certain way, you're gonna be biased. You're gonna be thinking, oh, that's probably what I would have done as well. But that's not the case, probably. Or it might be. But all of you guys were correct. So let's just see how he does it, okay? He's gonna walk up. He knows the guy's pretty much fucked. He knows that this guy went towards this pathing. He took a really good pathing. He knows this guy has no escape. Ezreal can probably kill him. He's running towards the tower. And he knows the guy's dead. And now he's just going for the recon here. Boom. That's how we got a kill. So let's run it back, okay? And this is so simple. It looks really simple, right? He's taking a camp. He looks at bot lane. He's now looking at the wave a bit. He knows, okay, very good laners will always try to like stand here a bit and see if they're gonna push them out. So before he even goes for a gank, okay, he knows that very likely if these players are good, they will not let them crash the wave that easily. These guys should not walk here instantly. And you can think ahead as well. He was thinking ahead, okay, Zyrocom is either gonna push them out so the wave crashes, and if they don't, the wave is gonna be here. Which is a win-win. They can't play the game if the wave is gonna be here. If the jungler's around. And if Udry is now topside, and if they manage to freeze the wave, which he is, what's gonna happen is that these guys are not gonna be able to farm. If Jarvan is just standing here pressing S, he's gonna apply this one. Timing of ganks. When is he gonna go for a gank? Tell me, boys. I think you guys know it, but just gotta make sure. So if you're like in lower elos, this will be very beneficial. Whenever Zyra can't commit to the crash, when the lane froze and made a mistake. The lane's already frozen if they made the mistake. When they commit to the crash, slash last hit. Then they go for last hit. This is the key part. And the main reason why when they go for last hit is because, let's say there's a ward here, okay? And Jarvan's big brain. He's like, okay, the enemy team is probably gonna walk up when they go for last hit, okay? So let's say they managed to freeze the wave, and they didn't try to push them out, okay? Let's say that Rakan didn't combo in here, okay? They're playing safe right now. What's gonna happen is that they have no reason to walk up when this minion is super healthy. Like, Zai can literally stand here and wait. What? Why did it get so fat? Holy shit, dude. It's a McFatty. Okay, let me change the cursor. Okay. Okay, it's better now. Okay. So yeah, when the minion is like super healthy, there's no reason for people to walk up. And here's the key thing. Have you had games where as a jungler, let's say Udyr, okay, speaking, careful, careful, Jarvan's bot side, don't die. And your laners are still dying? And it's because their wave is shit. And laners don't want to wait for junglers. Even in Challenger and in low elo, people are not gonna wait for you. They will not wait. When the wave is shit, even if they know they're around, they're gonna die. Unless literally Jarvan is sitting on the ward here. Okay, then they won't die. But as long as Jarvan just sits here, and the Udry now is being careful, they're gonna be in XP range. Like the last hit range will be here. From skill, from ability, it will be here. XP range would be like right here. Okay. They're still gonna walk up. So go for a gank when they go for a last hit, okay? And that is super important. And I'm not kidding. This is just how you get kills. It's most better for laners to flip it and get the wave push out. Yes, I agree with that. They should flip it. And that's the thing. That's opportunities for you. The moment they flip it, that's when you flip their lives. And that's when they get flipped back to base. And it's super simple, these things. So let's give more examples, okay? Only if the opposite side of the map has gold. What do you mean if the opposite side has gold? But okay, let's see how it gets more kills. Okay, now he takes a Drake, but right now we're not talking about Drakes. Right now we're purely talking about breaking down kills, okay? Okay, I mean, let's just keep watching here, okay? Whoa, 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 with the skin. Okay, sorry guys, I just have to look at it. The skin is crazy, no? What the fuck? How nice is the skin? Okay, guys, I'm buying the skin, by the way. I'm just saying, like, holy shit, dude. What's this pool party? Can someone check? I think it's pool party, right? But dude, this skin is so fucking nice. Sorry, guys, but I just had to point it out. Holy shit, dude. I'm gonna get the skin, just saying. I usually don't buy skins, but you know, that one, whew. But okay. Let's see, guys. Mr. Jarvan. Let's see if he missed any opportunities, okay? He's just farming. Wave is normal. Wave is normal. You can zoom out like this as well. But one thing you have to keep in mind here, okay? He took every single of his camp. So right now he can just oink around and he has free time, okay? If it's 50, nice heuristic. Okay. So right now he's going from behind. He has no flash. Okay. So think from Jarvan's perspective. What is he gonna do here? So he's going for a kill, okay? But this is pretty creative. I like it. I mean, I think everyone knows. He's gonna EQ behind and ult him, right? Wait for less EQ. No. Okay. In general, the perfect timing is if they go for last hit. Something I haven't mentioned yet, okay? But the thing is that if the enemy team is walking up anyway for free, and you're already behind them, there's no need to wait for a last hit. If they're already giving range like this, why would you wait till they go for a last hit? He's already in a last hit position. Usually that's just the timing if laners are playing good. But right now he's just walking up and he's already in a last hit position. So he can already go for it. He does not have to wait at all. He can just send it right now. Slow push wave. Okay, I don't think he has to wait. And here's the thing as well that I actually didn't explain in my Patreon video, okay? So I'll explain it here. So, you see when the wave is hit like this, okay? If you watch my Patreon videos, you know, okay, usually if it's a slow push, you want to cover and blah blah blah, right? But before the wave is like, let's say, bad, like, they still have to stand here to see us. This is a slow push, right? But the thing is that they still have to stand here to last it. So depending on how safe they play, their wave will be fine. Oh, the play before? Ah, okay. That's different. And I think if Ezreal's human, he shouldn't have killed his minion. He should have just kept it there, which forces them to be deeper. Okay, so right now he's going for the gank here. Boom, he got scared. Wait, it didn't show on the replay, but he got a kill here. Okay. So, I mean, this is like a different topic for another time, right? But I'll be talking about tempo, base timers later. But right now, we're only talking about kills, because I can tell you no matter what elo you're playing, okay? Legit, it does not matter. If you want to get good and climb to Challenger, okay? The basic step is know how to get kills. If you don't know how to get kills, you suck. Like, people are legit inting left and right. Like, even if you don't want to get kills, they just give it to you. So at least you have to be able to recognize how to claim the free kills. Sometimes, honestly, I'm like legit AFK. I'm like eating my food, you know. I'm like legit sitting in my chair like this. And then the enemy laners are just hitting my tower when I'm topside without flash. And I'm like, what the fuck? In Challenger games. And I've played the low elo, and I'm telling you guys, they're gonna int a lot more. So, number one thing is how to get kills, okay? Every time top laners playing like the don't exist, mute them. Mute them. Top laners are useless. Like, my 0-4 top laners are gonna ping me. Please gank top lane. I can't play the game. Fuck them. Just mute and press tab and think, okay, who's gonna carry the game? My 0-4 top laner or someone else? You know, like, this guy's not 0-4, but you guys get the idea, right? So, right now, I would say that this guy is taking... Okay, let's keep playing for kills, okay? Because the thing is that... This is my first class, but the thing is that... And here's a key thing as well, okay, guys? When I teach you guys one thing, the main reason for one thing is that you should really focus on this one thing, and then let's say on the next class, I'll be showing you guys the next step. What comes after kills, right? But I can teach you guys, let's say, Let's say this game I would talk about being efficient, know your win condition, know how to get kills. I can talk about all these things, knowing your limits. But in the end, you guys won't learn anything. Because you can't apply everything. You have to focus at one thing at a time. Once you're good at one thing, you keep adding, and at some point, you're like, as long as you keep adding the skill sets that I'm teaching here, your elo is gonna go like this as well. Like, for sure. That's how your elo is gonna be as well as the game progresses, as you learn more. So keep in mind, if you want to learn things, learn it one by one. Like, let's say you're a baby, you don't start running. You start walking, then you start walking? Wait, as a baby, you start crawling. As a baby, first crawl, then you start walking slowly, you walk a bit faster, then you can start learn how to run. It's the same thing, guys. A baby doesn't start running. What the fuck did I just say? Then you swim. I mean, exactly, right? It's the same in League. It's the same in any skill that you're gonna learn in life. Not just in League, guys. So, let's say you want to educate yourself on any other new skill. Make sure you take it slow, one by one. Make sure it becomes a habit, and keep on adding. Okay? And I'll have the notes for you guys after this session, so you guys will know, okay, these are the things I have to be working on just how to get kills. Okay, so let's see, okay? So before he goes for a lane, we're gonna do a test right now, okay? Let's see who is big brain in this group chat. Okay? Right answers only. Okay. I'm gonna play a bit further, okay? Okay, he's looking for a mid lane gank here, okay? How is he gonna execute this, boys? So, okay, what is his thinking process here? So right now, he's basically looking for a kill, okay? But let's say this Yone is not on NPC. Okay? What do you need to happen? Like, how do you kill this guy? Okay, let's talk about purely that he wants to kill him, okay? Purely for a kill. He waits for Yone to queue in, ping him back. When Yone is E, Yone will come to farm, take some Q stacks. But how can I make that happen? Yone is not gonna farm, go for Q stacks if this guy is going like this, right? He's slash and R? Yeah, no, I'm just asking, what's the best way to kill him? Like, currently, we're only talking about knowing how to get kills. Let's say you're a really thirsty ape and you can only play for kills. Right now, I'm teaching you guys how to basically just to get kills. Let's say, even if it's not possible, what is the best way for you to kill this guy? Wait R into fight, wait for his E, Yo step up to contest prio. Yo steps up. Let him get off the mid lane wave. Have R bait his E. It's pretty hard to bait his E, right? So one tip here, let's look from enemy perspective, okay? This is Yone's perspective, okay? I'll just show you Yone's perspective. For now, it's like impossible. It's not about whether it's possible or not here. I'm just talking about how can you make this guy run it down. I mean, this guy, first of all, has to go to the middle of the lane. I think everyone agrees with that. Or you can't kill him. Yes. That's the first thing. You want this guy to walk up. But how can I make walk up? And I'm going to talk about it right now, okay? So here's the thing that I very often do. If I go for a gank on mid lane, and let's say I think it's very difficult, but let's say it's personal, okay? Let's say it's really personal. I just want to kill this guy. It's personal, okay? The best way to kill this guy is like pinging your Ahri to stand back. The moment Ahri stands like here, and just saying he should always stand on opposite side, yes. If you gank mid lane from this side, you want your mid laner to be going from this side. And the most important reason why is because this way, let's say Ahri's standing here, okay? And you're standing here, he can just run up. That kind of sucks. But if you come from two sides, you can pincer him. So the only way he can run is this way, right? Which is why you want him to be walking up for a last hit. And when he goes for a last hit, that's when you can look for him. So ideally, your Ahri should not make it too obvious. He should, honestly, you know, in LEC, okay? At the highest league. I'm not saying a low elo this is gonna work always, but I'm just explaining you guys what the theory behind it is, okay? If Ahri is gonna stand here, after he lessens his minion, okay? Imagine Ahri now is like, okay, I am gonna go for a ward here, okay? But I'm just saying, if anyone's playing competitive or super high elo, this is super valuable because even pro teams sometimes are not doing this, okay? So let's say Ahri clears his ward here. Sorry, this minion. And he goes for like a fake ward here. That Yon is like, oh, I can walk up now. And then he puts himself in a position where he's like walking up. And when he goes for ding 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 ding. Then he go for last hit. That's when is the best time for you to look for a gank. But anyway, at this moment, it's not even worth to look for the kill. I'm just saying, guys. At this moment, you just push mid lane and you play into bot lane and look for a dive. But let's say I'm currently talking about purely if you just want to get the kill really badly, okay? Like in the cases where your laner is super far ahead, okay, and they can just push a move, you can just stand around, see if they int. If not, push the wave and move together. But that's how it should be in general, if you really want to kill the guy. What would you do in this game if you're Udyr? I would probably not gank. I mean, it depends on the matchup as well, right? I would probably, okay, if you play a champ like Udyr, very often, you're using the ping pong strategy. You translate the pressure into the other lane. That's usually what you're doing, okay? Because usually you can't just walk a mid lane and bear slap him and just one-shot him. You can't do that. Usually as Udyr, you're just playing for objective. So you see how Drake's up in 1 minute. As an Udyr, you want to just be around. In case he gets ganked, you counter gank, you win. If he doesn't get ganked, you will have full control in this area. And when an objective's coming up, they have to face check. Imagine they're face checking a Ahri, a Zyra before an objective comes up. They're not gonna win. Just saying. So when you play champs that don't really have good gank potential, you're playing around objectives usually and get control and try to be first. That way, they have to come to you and they have to fight you. And if they don't fight you, they will lose, you know, the fight. Or they will lose the objective. And that's what you do if you play Udyr, of course. Alright, so let's go to blue side. Right, I think Jarvan has a lot of gold. He's gonna base for his gold drinker. Just a very small tip. I know we're talking about kills, but overall, if you know you need to base, please ping your laners to not int. They might still int, but I'm just saying. Like right now, the moment Jarvan leaves, he knows that he wants to base. Just look at top lane, look at bot lane, look at mid lane. Just ping people to play safe, get your item, because right now, the game is unlosable. I think top lane would die here anyway. Like, okay, look, this is a perfect example. Imagine that Jarvan now is pinging top lane. Yo, careful. Enemy jungler top side. Don't die. And this Kled is just holding the wave here. You think this guy's gonna give the wave? Is he gonna lose the next wave for free? No. This guy's gonna send it, dude. And this is how you can think as a jungler. When the wave is like this, okay? Let's say from Udyr perspective. Okay? When you know that the enemy team has to try to crash this wave, and you know that your top laner can hold the wave here, okay? That's an opportunity for you to look. You can use 5 to 10 seconds if needed, and see if he's gonna try to push him out. If not, he has to freeze. And if the enemy jungler is bot side, you should win it 2v1. Of course, if the enemy jungler is top side and covering, and he has a wave like this, Would you guys still go for the gank or not? Wondering if correct answer is only. Let's say Jarvan could be topside here. Okay. Correct answer that. You don't go for the gank. But let's say you know Jarvan's bot side, because he just assumed he was bot side, you see? You see these pings on the minimap? So he went for this gank, knowing that information. So that's why as well he's camping here, and he's just looking at, okay, is this guy gonna int or not? If he's not gonna int, he can already channel press B, go base. And if he's gonna int, well, he's dead, right? And here's the key thing. I know we're talking about kills, but this is pretty important as well, is that, let's say Jarvan happened to be topside, okay? He kind of has to be top lane. Because if Udry is burger clipping the gank, the Irelia is gonna die. So in high elo, it's all about mind games sometimes, and about tempo. Because if Jarvan covers here, and Udry is farming and basing, he now has an opportunity to gank mid, or bot, and basically, Jarvan can't be there. Unless he's skipping all his camps and be like, okay guys, fuck it, I'm just skipping all my camps and perma covering. But then Udry gets too far ahead, right? And then it becomes more difficult. And guess what? Irelia went for a gank. And just a small thing. We're only talking about kills right now, and I'll keep it that way because I can tell you that there's so many topics, but I can't get it in 1 hour. It's impossible because, well, for example, knowing your limits, right? This is a very, very, very important one that's not talked about enough, and I'll elaborate how you can become instantly better by just knowing this, but I'll get into it later. But now it's just only kills, okay? And this is something I've practiced a lot in the past, just knowing my limits, and helped me so much. And people are not doing that enough. Yeah, let's look at Mr. Kenyon. So, let's see how he gets juicy kills. And just saying, guys, he's playing against some of the best players in the world in Korea, right? And this is not even low elo. If you manage to do these things that I just explained, you are gonna be pretty strong, I would say. The class is recorded, yes, so you can watch it again. Okay, he's going for a base. So, I'll go back. Okay, so right now you're the Jarvan. You guys are Kenyon, okay? All of you guys are Kenyon right now. You're Kenyon. You guys are the goat. You guys are the goat. Like, I'm a big fan of all of you guys. So what would you guys do? You guys are currently the goat, okay? What would you do? Play for Drake? How do you play for the Drake? We click enemy wolves and look bot. You press right click behind bot, take river control lane, gang bot, hover bit bot. Control Drake, okay. Push me Drake pressure. Okay. Go towards mid and trigger bot river. Okay. So here's a really key thing, okay? That is super important to understand. I have not explained any of my videos yet, I think. I don't think it's anywhere online as well, because you just don't find this information anywhere. But I'll be telling you, okay? So, general rule. This is a general rule, okay? I think everyone agrees with that. But, if bot lane is volatile and mid lane is fine, your mid lane should be able to get push 1v1. And if bot lane is volatile, you kind of want to go bot lane. Because let's say he's going mid lane, okay? It's Jarvan. And let's say Rakan is more healthier and he's level 6. Your bot lane is gonna get like maybe all in. And your mid lane is fine, right? Like your mid lane is fine. This is 3v2, no? 2v3 you mean? The bot lane? But here's the thing, right? If your mid lane is okay, and just saying as well, currently the waves are the same. After 14 minutes, like you see how the wave is here, and this wave is here, it's still 11 minutes. You're still in the early game. It's still about volatility. In this case, I would say that your bot lane is fine, right? But just keep in mind, it's just this specific example, they're fine. But in another game, let's say it's Nautilus Leona matchup, and you know mid lane is fine, you kinda wanna be bot lane. Because, you know, they're just gonna send it. So just keep that in mind. And your mid lane will get the push anyway. And it's before minute 14. After minute 14, I think even if bot lane is volatile, it's okay. Because if it's minute 14, the wave would probably be around here. Because the wave is slower, right? After minute 14, the camps are faster. Or sorry, slower. Because then, even if the bot lane is volatile, they can just wait in the tower. Mid lane can walk up super far. Because you're here. And the faster you can take the wave, the faster you can move. And the faster you can move, the faster your bot lane can look to walk up and fight as well. If top camps are up, would you skip them? Yes, in this case you skip them. Because the Drake is coming up in 15 seconds. If you had 1 minute, you can take topside camps. And then you can ignore your bot side camps. And then take the Drake. And then take your bot side camps after. If you don't have mid prio, which lane would you help? If you don't have mid and bot prio, you start walking defensive. So what I mean with defensive is that, let's say your bot lane is going to get pushed in. Okay, honestly, I don't even want to talk about this because it's going to be really complicated. But I can explain it really fast, okay? Let's say, you know, bot lane is going to get pushed in. Your AD carry stands alone here. Your support and you walk together mid lane and try to get man advantage. And if they go for a dive, of course, you should be ready to help your bot lane. But the general thought process should be, if you're behind, you want to try to get man advantage somehow. And try to open up at least one lane that's losing. Okay? But in solo queue, high elo this works. Like really high elo. In diamond, it might work as well, honestly. But I think there's like more important things to focus on than that. But it's good that you guys know it at least now. But okay, so he's going for the Drake. This guy died. Pretty good. Taking the Grumpy. Okay. This Jarvan's gonna be just going to our subset now. Zyra Ignite, that's crazy. Okay, let's just pay attention to this, okay? There's a fight in the top side. Sadly, I can't see the pinks. Okay. This is nothing too crazy, it was just an EQ combo. But let's just see how it plays it, okay? Let's look at mastery. He missed his Q. Okay. This point is nothing too crazy, but honestly, that's mostly it for just recognizing how to get kills. So, of course, like more small things, but in general, I think I covered most of it. So let's run it back, okay? Basically, you want to recognize volatile lanes, and before going for the gank, you want to recognize wave states. And when I say champion identity, it just depends on whether you have CC or not. Like I said, if you Needly, Ezreal, and a Bard, like pre-6, like, yeah, they can just flash out or run away, right? And the time of ganks, I talked a bit about when to skip camps and execution of ganks. But execution of ganks, I'll write as well. Execution of gank, walk behind them, not straight to them. Is there any any questions? Now we're at the little question tab. And the thing is that in the future we'll be covering we covered this one basically, knowing how to get kills. Do you guys understand now better a bit how it works with ganks? Because if you understand just simply how to get kills, okay, there's of course many other things in League, but let's say you get really good at this, you'll already be better than most people. But if you get good at like being efficient, knowing your win condition, knowing your limits, you'll be in general quite good. There's more of course, but you know, I can't cover everything in a short period of time, but if you want to go stonks, you need to do things step by step. But does anyone have questions regarding knowing how to get kills? And of course, there's as well some videos regarding champ identity, what works, what doesn't. But that's mostly how to get the kills part. If someone has any question, you can request to speak, and I can let you speak and I can explain. Where is it? Show chat. You can write it or speak. It doesn't matter. What's the question? If you guys have any questions on knowing how to get kills. Let's say late game kills, how would you manage? That is different. That is a completely different topic. Because it's really difficult to cover early game kills and mid game kills. Alright. Invite to speak. Yo, what's up, Efkan?
How are you, Kirei?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm Kindred Education, by the way.
Huh? What did you say?
I'm Kindred Education, you know.
Oh, really? I didn't know it was you, actually.
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah. My question. I don't know why can I talk English, but sorry about
It's
that.
okay. No worries.
You know, bot lane matchup sometimes so bad, like Soraka Ezreal against Pyke Draven.
Yeah.
What can I do against that?
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, if I gank bot lane, they can kill three versus 2. Or enemy jungle can counter gank. So maybe sometimes we can gank top lane, no?
I think if you have like let's say Soraka, whatever, against the Pyke, usually Pyke players are very aggressive. Level 1, they will already completely go in, okay? So if you have, let's say, a weak lane and you're playing against a Pyke, if you can, try to late invade. Level 1. If you can, if you're stronger, okay? If you're not stronger, you have the option of taking a bull-in leash. So your bull-in can leash you, and then you can look for level 3 gank on their lane, and their jungler can't be there. Does it make sense?
Maybe Lee Sin will be there because, you know, he started red, blue and Gromp. After that, we can gank bot lane.
Yeah, so let's say...
Imagine we have red side, yeah.
Yeah, imagine you get a leash from bot lane, okay? You do this, this, then you just go bot lane here. Lee Sin, if you start top side, he's gonna be slower than you. Because you get the most broken leash, and then you can look to walk towards the bot side. And he cannot be there. And if they play safe, okay, and your bot lane can push, and you can invade if you win your matchup. If they don't play safe, you can gank, because the wave will be bad. And they will probably
maybe I can flip though, no?
After 3 camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
I can go enemy blue and can wait. If the enemy bot lane start moving, I'm gonna die to turrets, so it's not a big problem for me.
Yeah, only if they have the push though. But yeah, did it answer your question? I think that's how you can counter it basically. And of course, hope they don't die if you're taking 3 camps. But
it's kinda hard matchup, you know. I play against you, you know. You remember your Elise game? You
Yeah,
have
yeah,
pike
yeah.
support
I
and
remember. Yeah.
you invade me my blue,
Mhm.
my gromp.
Yeah, yeah. I
It's something
remember.
like that. It's kind of shit,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that's basically how it works. So yeah. Anything else that you wonder about?
Mm, no, I don't think. I don't have anything more.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
That's no problem, mate. Okay. Wait. How do I? I'm not sure how this shit works. Uh, okay. I don't know how it works, but anyway. Any other question? What if the gank doesn't work? If the gank doesn't work, that means that your bot lane should be able to get the push, and then you can use the pressure either to invade him or go back to your topside camps. You have that option. Yeah, Roman. You mean later? Hmm. I mean, if it doesn't work, just unfortunate. What if her top camps are down by the enemy jungle? Then he can take his bot side. Level 6 after Drain Pike might even. No, no, no. Drain Pike's not gonna win the 2v3. They won't. Your bot lane just needs this level 2, and then you can look for the gank. If the level 1, you don't go for the gank. That's how it works. And but yeah, that's basically how it works. And wait. Yeah, basically that's mostly for the early game kills. Regarding mid game kills, like a different beast, right? But yeah, that's mostly early game kills. And just saying, if you win early games, most of the times you are going to be winning. So you maybe didn't go for the invade and reset for top camps, but they're gone. Uh, I think usually they wouldn't randomly invade your top six camps. Worst case, you would lose one camp, but you can make the other camps. Early game ends after 14 minutes. That's when the waves start being different. Or when the towers are gone, basically. That's usually when it ends. So yeah. But anyway, in the next lessons, we'll be covering being efficient. Because this one, even I make mistakes sometimes, but I'm aware of the mistakes. And if, let's say, I would be focusing on it, I would not be doing it. Okay? And yeah, if you guys have any questions, can just ask the next time, I guess, or in Discord as well. There's a question chat, but dude, I need to get water. My throat, my water's empty. But let me see. The next one would be probably around next week as well. I'll probably make it the same days. Like I'm not sure which days are the best usually. Like, which days you guys think is the best? Feedback, suggestions, always welcome. Sunday, just say me which days are the best. Because I'm pretty flexible in general, but okay, weekends for sure, it seems. Saturday, Sunday. Uh, 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 Let me think which one might be the best. I mean, I'll figure it out, guys. But did you guys like it? It's my first time, guys. But honestly, the information that I'm sharing is pretty good when it comes to like just one topic, because I usually don't explain one topic for that long. I'm literally explaining everything that there is to explain almost, and how you can work on it as well, right? And you know, and just saying, guys, no joke. Like, if you follow the class for like 2 months, you're gonna get so much information, and you're gonna improve so much faster. And they're gonna be sword stonks as long as you focus on the right things. And if you want to work on something, work on few things at the same time. Don't work on too many things at once. That is not so good. Just saying. And yeah, I will see you guys the next week then, and I'll see you guys around the basics. It's very complete. Yeah, for sure. Roman. Okay, wait. What the fuck? Roman want to request to speak, but it's gone. Yeah, from Diamond to Hearthstone to Master and LP in like 2 or 3 weeks with videos actually. Not too shabby, dude. I mean, as long as you keep focusing on the things you want to work on, the fundamentals, you will for sure improve. Like someone recently as well got challenger for my videos too, and that's pretty nice. Like another guy. So I'm telling you guys, these concepts that I'm explaining work till challenger for sure, as long as you put it in the time and effort. Okay. And I think that's all. My throat is pretty dry, so I'll look to schedule the one the next week. And yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. I'm happy as well to help you guys, and I'll see you guys around. Love you all, and peace, boys. See you. Tschüss.